Missouri's playing Alabama Saturday. Bama doesn't have a bye week. Bama doesn't have an FCS game. How this game profiles, let me explain to you how this should go. History has taught us that when you have a more talented roster, which Alabama is, and they come off a gut-wrenching loss on the road and they come home and they're in must-win, do-or-die mode, and they're playing a team that had a very suspect win the week before, then that home team should run away with the game. That is normally how this would happen. And Alabama has 5 straight wins in this series, all by 13-plus points. So a lot of the trends, if you believe in that sort of thing, would tell you Alabama's going to win this thing in runaway fashion. But as Meemaw used to tell me, trends are good at one thing, and that is predicting the past. How do we predict how this game's going to go? Well, to predict this game, good luck, firstly. Secondly, to predict this game, you got to tell me what Alabama's offense is. Does anyone out there, Kalen DeBoer could call in if he wants to, explain to me what Alabama's offense is? Well, Josh, it's about explosive plays. Wrong. It was about explosive plays until they stopped being able to create explosive plays. They've got bad production from the running back position. This is pretty shocking. Alabama has been under 3.5 yards per carry at the running back position in SEC play, period. Haynes and Miller have not combined for 70 or more rushing yards in a single SEC game. And I'm telling you that is a glaring problem because I'm telling you that offensive staff thought that those two were two of the keys to the offense. And so you got that as problem 1 of 19. And then 2, because you don't have a run game, no one has to respect any kind of play action. And therefore, number 3, it really comes down to Jalen Milroe being able to run the ball and throw the ball. And he hadn't been able to run the ball worth anything recently. So it just comes down to him throwing the ball. And you saw how that turned out against South Carolina and then especially against Tennessee. So what are we reduced to here? It's an identityless offense. That's really what we're reduced to. And Milroe's thrown 6 picks in the last 4 games. He's been sacked 9 times in the last 3 games. One of the most hideous offensive performances that you will see this team play was last week on the road at Neyland Stadium. And Tennessee had a lot to do with that. So if that's the case, then it won't carry over, right? Alabama will right the wrongs. I think he's banged up physically. They will never confirm that, nor should they, because it's nobody's business. But you will not convince me he's playing at near 100% right now. Now, having said that, they're going to play the game Saturday anyway. And Alabama is a 13.5-point favorite against Missouri anyway. So I think third down is extremely important for Missouri's defense. I want you to listen to this. Alabama's offense has been in 53 third down situations this year. Out of those 53 third down situations, 33 of them have been third and long. That means 3rd and 7+. They've converted 5 of those third and longs. 5 out of 33. That's 15% they're converting on those third and longs. They're 127th in the country in that metric. But here's the good news for them. On 3rd and short, 3rd and 3 yards or less, they're 18th in the country. They're okay if they can stay on schedule. But because the elements of the offense they need to be there haven't been there, and because they're penalized every other play, they haven't really been able to stay on schedule. And the news gets worse when I tell you Missouri is a top 10 defense on 3rd down. So right off the bat, there's just a glaring red light here that if Alabama continues to do what they've been doing and they can't stay ahead of schedule, Missouri can mess you up here. Any team can mess you up if you stay behind schedule that much, but Missouri can especially. So that's part 1 for Missouri. Part 2 for Missouri is what do we need from Brady Cook at quarterback? Because he hasn't looked like himself all year either. I think physically he's been limited. Obviously, he had to leave the game last week and came back. It depends on what the style of the game is. See, last week, it turns out Tennessee could afford to get shut out in the first half and still win because Bama never pulled away, because Bama couldn't put together sustained drives. They couldn't take advantage of turnovers. So if that's the style you get where you need 20 points to win, well, Brady Cook can give you enough. He can find Theo Wease. He can find Luther Bird in a time or two. But if Bama's offense does click this week and you need to get into the 30s to beat them, well, I don't believe in you if you need to do that against them. I don't believe in this Missouri team if they need to do that. So there's so much unknown in this game. Like normally my default would be, well, Bama will get right here. They'll get right at home. I cannot count on much of anything offensively with them right now. So let's take a look at what the model thinks. FanDuel's got this thing at Bama minus 13.5. The model's a little bit shorter than that. We got Bama minus 11. I don't know what else to do. Take Bama to win and Missouri to cover. I'm not betting on the game. I have no idea how you could ever say that you could see a Bama pull-away victory coming. Bama winning, okay, but them pulling away, winning the game by 2 or 3 scores, how do you forecast that? I could see it happening. I'm saying, how do you forecast that? It's kind of like Georgia-Texas last week. Georgia goes in there and plays the kind of game that they haven't played all year. They played a half of it against Clemson, and folks wanted to puff their chest out afterwards who never gave a prediction beforehand. And I'm like, you're telling me you could see that game coming? Where did you see it coming from? It hasn't been shown to you all year. So likewise with Bama. We saw the first half against Georgia, and then after that, it has been kind of rough to watch them. If they play that kind of game again, okay, they'll win, they'll cover. How could you be confident in that? So I'm splitting the difference. Bama wins, Missouri covers.